Mum came to me and asked me if I could build her a website for her early childhood centre to better connect the families in her community. So I built her the website and it worked really well. There was way more trust between teachers and families. And I thought this was too good not to take to other centres as well. So I decided I was going to build a team. I was working with a designer at the time called Andrew, and he introduced me to Peter.
Yeah, Andrew and I met in a cave in Vietnam randomly, and also randomly our mums were both early childhood teachers. So unbeknownst to us all, we then brought on Matt Hartley, and Matt's mum also was an early childhood teacher. So we were really blessed to, like, the serendipity of us all coming together and having a similar set of values and, you know, kind of similar upbringings to all bring to bear with Storypark.
In the beginning, so Storypark it had very few features. All Storypark was a place to add some really simple text and some photos. But what people loved about it was in a safe, private space that just the centre and the families could access. So even these simple features proved popular with our early customers.
I was the centre manager of the first centre that trialled Storypark after Jamie's mother's centre. And it was a really exciting time because there was so much change in technology, and we were really looking for something beyond a blog that would really help our engagement with families. Storypark, when it first started, all we had was a thread for sharing stories with the families and a way that they could respond. There was no printing, we couldn't add videos yet, there was no community posts. So even with just the small part of Storypark of just writing the stories, there was just such an engagement with those families and the difference it made to the ongoing children's learning.
It's funny thinking back, sitting here in the studio doing this piece. Like back in the day, I used to take video on my phone to go from the early days where there was 4 of us. It was basically just all hands on deck. And we were really lucky. We had really supportive partners, and Jamie and I didn't get paid for a long time, basically volunteered at Storypark for the first couple of years.
So I remember early on, things were super tough. There was this one moment where we were so close to running out of money, I interviewed for a job. Fortunately, the same week, Pete comes to me and he says, "Hey, I've got this investment lead." And we're able to pitch to them. And the following week, the investment came through and I didn't have to take the job.
We started a project early in our genesis as a company, and that was our project to describe our purpose. We felt that if we were able to mine the natural authentic energy that had arisen from Pete and Jamie's upbringing, and we were able to bring that into our story, that was going to connect well with the people that encountered that story. You know, first and foremost our new customers, but then also those people that we wanted to attract to the company in order that we could be successful. I was really proud of the way that Pete and Jamie came together and sat with me through some very difficult questioning. So why are you doing this? What about this is most important to you? Really getting them to reach deep inside of themselves. And waiting for the tears to squirt up in the back of their eyes and the lump in the throat. And then of course, we started to put together the words of the purpose that we're now also fond of.
We tried to build Storypark really flexibly so it would accommodate the different philosophies and different practices that different early childhood contexts have internationally. And that really worked. We grew, we pretty much doubled every 6 months for the first 3.5 years of Storypark's life.
As well as providing the software, we focused on helping every customer deepen their practice by providing personalised training, webinars, and great customer service. In the early days, a lot of our focus was supporting people from shifting from using a paper-based portfolio for children to digital portfolios. Initially, I joined Storypark in a part-time role and started growing the professional learning and development and customer onboarding function within Storypark with Pete. From 2012 to now, we've grown from serving 1,000 children to over 2 million. What a milestone.
We work with about 11,000 early childhood services and 500,000 early childhood educators in 37 countries around the world. As we grew, so did our impact. We started getting these amazing messages from military families where mum or dad was posted away and was away from their child for a long period of time and were able to be more engaged in ways they couldn't be before. from people who are sight impaired, people with children who have additional learning difficulties or need additional support. We had messages from families, new migrant families, who were able to use translation tools to be able to better understand what was happening for their child, and creating new relationships with educators and around the child in ways that were super meaningful for their family and their context. We started also getting messages from educators about the transformational things that were happening in terms of their practice, how they were working as a team, and how they were working with their community of families. People were learning things about children that they hadn't been able to know before. This was kind of one of the key things that was exciting when Jamie first made his mum this website, was the ability to learn, have a more holistic understanding of who each child is by understanding the home learning context as well as the early learning context, and having those people work really effectively together in kind of blended learning environments, which was exactly what we had hoped to do within our organisation. Over this time, the team grew quickly too, and we were able to bring in some really great values-aligned folks who helped us build the fantastic culture that we have at Storypark today. And we also brought on Megan.
Eventually, we got our own office and an office manager, me, and our team grew and our families grew and lots of babies.
Over the years, there's been a lot of things that have changed. The one thing that hasn't changed has been our purpose.
About 5 years ago, I did some research into how we can make the greatest difference in the world in line with what's ours to do as an organisation, and that became the 3 areas of our mission.
Our values have attracted like-minded people from all over the world who are driven to make a difference for children in their communities.
This has enabled us to build partnerships with some amazing organisations from all over the world who share our aspirations. It's also helped us build relationships with advisors, so some of the world's best minds in early childhood education who've agreed to work with us to inform the way we design and think about Storypark.
We've always made Storypark free for families, always given free access to centres in vulnerable communities to ensure equity, accessibility for all communities.
We are a company that is truly and authentically in service to its purpose. Being in service to our purpose and making decisions in accord with making the biggest difference we can relative to that purpose has helped us to attract world-class people to our team.
It's amazing to reflect on how far we've come in this last 10 years and how much impact we've already had. But as we look forward into the future, into a world that's facing more uncertainty and challenges that we've never had to face before, it's going to be critical for us to continue to innovate around our purpose, ensuring that we're helping strengthen communities around each child, build the capabilities and surface insights to ensure that we're helping every child fulfill their unique potential.
So finally, just want to say thanks. Thanks to our families, thanks to our customers, thanks to our team, thanks to our advisors, thanks to everyone on the board. We wouldn't be here without you, and we really, really appreciate all of your support over the last 10 years. It's been a real privilege to make this difference that we have in the world, and we're really excited about what the next 10 years looks like for Storypark. So thanks very much.